Pavy's Daily Takes. Back again. If there's noise in the background, excuse me. It's hot as hell in LA. It's like 80 degrees. So yeah, I'm not gonna stay on here long today, but just wanted to give you my daily thoughts on free agency day 2. I think Jared Dudley signed a deal with the Lakers, which I like. I don't think that affects the Lakers' cap space at all because he signed pretty much, I think, a vet minimum. But I do like the deal. I mean, I like them picking up Jared Dudley. I like them picking up Troy Daniels. I know TPJ was on Twitter saying that the Lakers already lost free agency, but to me, they didn't. Still very quality free agents left. I mean, DeMarcus Cousins is left. I saw, I think it was Woj on TV saying that he has really no value on the market right now. He can't even get a mid-level reception. I think that's blasphemy. I think that is wild. I think that is, at this point, I just think the league honestly has it out for DeMarcus. I understand at certain times in the finals he wasn't his best, but DeMarcus also wasn't that bad in the finals to think that he can't get a deal from a team. So that's where I stand with that. Like, Frank Kaminsky is not better than DeMarcus Cousins. Wesley Matthews is not better than DeMarcus Cousins. Jared Dudley is not better than DeMarcus Cousins. Fucking Willie Cauley-Stein, who just signed with the Warriors on a minimum himself, if I'm not mistaken, is not better than DeMarcus Cousins. DeMarcus should have some value in this league, and I think that the fact that Woj will come on TV and say teams don't value him at all and he can't even get a mid-level exception, I hope that's not true, and if it is 100% true, that's disheartening because Boogie is a good, solid player, man. Look, even the man was coming off fucking a quad tear, and I know he was bad from the free throw line. I know he didn't necessarily shoot the ball well, but he wasn't that damn bad in the finals. He just wasn't. It was in, what was it? The game that they won in Toronto. Two of the games they won in Toronto. Actually, the first game they won in Toronto, which was game 2, and the game when KD tore his Achilles, I thought Boogie was one of the best people on the court. Even after KD tore his Achilles, I felt like Boogie was the only person who hopped in with energy immediately and didn't look shell-shocked by what had just happened. So for the fact that, Woj will come on TV and say that he has no value, again, it's extremely disheartening to me, and I hope that that isn't the case, and I hope that Boogie can find a way to get him a decent contract because he deserves it. But again, like TPJ was saying, the Lakers already lost the offseason if Kawhi doesn't come. I don't agree with that. Again, Marcus Morris is still left. That was actually a whole list of guys that were still left. Marcus Morris is still left. KCP is left. I think that KCP is a guy the Lakers should bring back. Rondo, I think, is a guy the Lakers should bring back as long as Rondo isn't starting. I think he's a guy that they should bring back. Cal Korver, I think, if I'm not mistaken, might be on the market. Iggy will probably wind up eventually being on the market. So all is not lost for the Lakers if they don't get Kawhi. Who knows what Kawhi is going to do? I've heard stories that Kawhi is at Drake crib, chilling. But yeah, who knows what Kawhi is going to do? Kawhi is hilarious for having the whole, I feel him, but also, who would have thought that 5-6 years ago, Kawhi Leonard from the Spurs, would have the fate of the basketball world, in his hands right now. That's a hilarious thing to think about. But he does, and he deserves it. He's worked hard for it. Honestly, he might be the best player in the league right now, which is crazy to think about. It's an argument. I think Anthony Davis will have something to say about that. Obviously, you can't ever count out LeBron. Harden will have something to say about that. Steph will have something to say about that next year. Giannis will have something to say about that next year. But, if you think about, he's no less than top 3, especially with Kevin Durant going down the way Kevin Durant went down. Also, the Warriors issued that bullshit letter. Joe Lacob issued that letter to Kevin Durant. I think it's bullshit. I don't think that Kevin Durant was actually ever appreciated by the Warriors until he tore his Achilles. The reason I say that is just the way the fans treated him consistently. There was always the Warriors better without KD. Also, I understand Bob Myers might have been joking at the parade, but don't joke with me at the championship parade in the manner in which he joked with Kevin Durant. I'm sorry. I wouldn't have rocked with that. And I think the fact that he turned down the money he turned down off of a career-altering injury is a clear sign that he just wanted to get the hell away from that situation and play in a space that he felt more comfortable with. You know, I've seen everybody talking about, I think, you know, some of the Warriors reporters were putting out an article that said that basically KD wanted a better sense of family. You know, I saw people saying, "Oh, Steph has a family, a young family. He can't do that. Clay is, you know, doesn't kick it with basketball. People, Draymond. Well, I'm sorry, Steph. If you the leader and that's your man's KD, you got to keep him engaged. I'm sorry. That's me personally. To me, if he really felt alienated because you know, they didn't want to do the things that he wanted to do with them, I think that's bad leadership. And I know people say Steph the best leader in the league, but I personally think that's bad leadership if that's actually what happened. Even you hear stories. I know Kobe even told a story. I don't think Kobe was one to go to the club. Kobe had a very small family. Kobe had a wife who was probably in her 20s or 30s at the time. Young girls, all in the household. His team wanted to go to the club. He was like, okay, I'll go to the club with you. I'll drink with you. 5 a.m., we going to the gym. LeBron will do it. Leaders will do it. So if you know KD your mans and you want to keep KD engaged, you got to go do some KD shit with KD. You got to go to KD crib and chill with him while he on Twitter. You got to go to KD crib and chill with him while he playing 2K. I understand you got a family, and family first. Family is very, very important. But that's your mans. You got to keep him engaged. You are the leader of this basketball team. Those are things that you must do. So if KD really felt the way because he didn't feel a part of a family in Golden State, then that falls on Steph, that falls on Clay, that falls on Draymond. But in my humble opinion, that mostly falls on Steph. You should have done something different. If that's your mans, then you as the leader gotta make sure that you take care of your mans. KD is a man that you gonna need. You need KD. Period. If KD not engaged, then you don't win the same way. As you can clearly see by the finals. But I want to talk about the Utah Jazz real quick. I'm probably going to spend maybe 10 minutes on here again. I'm not going to stay on here long today. You know, I have things to do today. I'm actually going to be watching the Brazil-Argentinian soccer, not Brazil-Argentinian, the Brazil versus Argentina soccer game. I think it's the World Cup. It's not the World Cup. What is it? Wait. Anyway, I you know, have a friend over that wants to watch that, so I will definitely be checking that out with her. But regardless, so I'm not gonna stay on here too long. But the Utah Jazz are putting together like the dream team. Seriously, I just got the alert that they just signed Emmanuel Mudiay. They also picked up Jeff Green. Like, the Utah Jazz are, granted, you never know until the ball is thrown up and until you know, actually get on the court and play actual games. But they look like a legitimate finals contender. Like, this might be, besides those finals teams they had in the late 90s, this might be the best Utah Jazz team ever on paper. As I look at it on paper, they realistically go about 10 deep. Realistically, 10 deep. So, I mean, I think Emmanuel Mudiay, because I think that Dante Exum at this point is not going to give you what you want Dante Exum to give you. I mean, he was the 5th pick in the draft. He's had like a horrible string of injuries. I think he tore his ACL right after his rookie year, actually playing with Australia in, was it FIBA games or the Olympics, one of the two. Then he had the shoulder injury, which he was out for a while. So I don't think he's going to give you what you want, what you wanted him to give you. But I think that Emmanuel Mudiay can kind of subsidize some of what you wanted him to give you. Also, you picked up Jeff Green. I mean, I saw Jeff Green the full year when he was in Cleveland. Jeff Green looked good in Cleveland. He didn't look terrible in Washington last year. I think Jeff Green still has something left in that tank to give you. Man, seriously, I think that Utah did themselves a great service. The Warriors also picked up Willie Cauley-Stein. They re-signed Kevon Looney on a 3-year, $15 million deal, which is a complete bargain for Kevon Looney. I thought that Kevon Looney probably could have easily got $30 million from some team. I guess that he really just wanted to stay in the Bay, which, I mean, happiness and being comfortable can definitely come before money. I mean, as you can see, KD turned down a Julius Randle contract to get the hell out of Golden State. So clearly, happiness and being comfortable can come before money. But I thought that he probably could have got something more. Willie Cauley-Stein needs to fire his agent. I'm serious. I don't know what Willie Cauley, if he would have. Okay, assuming it's a minimum. I'm assuming it's a minimum because GSW does not have that much money. So I'm assuming it's a minimum. If he just would have played it correctly and accepted the qualifying offer, from the Kings, and he wanted, I mean, look, again, agents do this all the time. I think that Otto Porter's agent probably did this when the Nets signed Otto to that max contract offer sheet. He probably, his agent probably called like, yo, can you, can they, like, they have connections with teams, like, yo, can you, hit them up, tell them to throw them a max or throw them a contract that that they're gonna match because they can't afford to lose this guy. You could have at least had him sign an offer sheet and then somebody come in and offer him a deal, and even if you knew that they weren't gonna match it, you could have at least done that. But for Willie, I mean, look, I don't think Willie Cauley-Stein is incredible. I think he's a solid young big man, but he should definitely be playing for more than a minimum contract. Now, granted, maybe he wanted the lifestyle the Warriors could bring. Maybe he wanted to just be in Oakland, San Francisco, be in a new arena, but still. And again, I think that he will thrive in the Warriors system. I think he's a guy that may help his stock a lot by playing with the Warriors, but still, in this economy, playing in the Bay, I mean, if you accepting a minimum, that damn it might be a studio apartment in San Francisco at this point with the way San Francisco retail is, and not retail, real estate is. So, yeah, but all in all, man, I think it's been a good second day of free agency as well. It's been a good second day of free agency. I hope Boogie can get a contract, man. I keep going back to that, but I really hope Boogie can get a deal, man. Like, look, Boogie had, since the time I moved to LA and got League Pass, Boogie was always a guy I would end up watching. Obviously, I live in LA, so obviously Sacramento Kings games, and at that point in time, obviously, on League Pass you can't get in-market games, so I couldn't get Lakers games or Clippers games. So all I was left to watch was like the Suns or Kings, because I wasn't watching the Warriors because it's very highly publicized. I don't like before Kevin Durant, I didn't like watching the Warriors play basketball, so I wasn't watching the Warriors games. I was probably watching Kings games or Suns games or some team along those lines. So, Boogie's a guy I've seen. I was actually watching the game when he tore his Achilles, actually. So I root for Boogie. As of now, he has the Warrior jersey off, so he's not dead to me. My fandom will not allow me to cheer for any Warriors players as long as they're in the Warriors uniform. Like, I'm so happy that I can stand for KD openly now, especially after a top 10 moment in my life involving Kevin Durant. So I'm happy I can stand for KD, like, out in the open now. I've always been a huge KD fan, but I've always been a huge Boogie fan, and just Frank Kaminsky not better than KD, bro. Frank Kaminsky out here getting 2 years, $10 million. You're not gonna tell me Boogie can't get no money from nobody. From nobody. I'm sorry. That just don't make no logical sense to me, and I ain't rocking with that. Period. Look. I'm sorry. I sit up here and watch minimum 600 basketball games a year. I can promise you, it's like 400 people in the league. I don't care what type of injury DeMarcus Cousins got. 400 people ain't better than DeMarcus Cousins, because that's basically what you're saying right now. IT got a contract right now. Shout out IT. I wish all great things on planet Earth for IT. He done had a long road back. He should sue Danny Ainge for doing this to him. But IT ain't better than DeMarcus Cousins. Emmanuel Moody ain't better than DeMarcus Cousins. Jeff Green, Jared Dudley not better than Boogie. Period. So, look, man, I'll check back in with you guys tomorrow. Hopefully we have some Kawhi news. Kawhi is taking his own sweet time, which I respect it. I understand it. I feel it as you should. I mean, I think LeBron didn't make his decision until I think July 10th. The last time that when he went back to Cleveland, if I'm not mistaken, something like that. So hopefully we'll have some Kawhi news tomorrow, and I can talk to you guys about that. But yeah, man, Pavy's Daily Takes. Talk to you guys later, man.